Now, log 24.0. Time is 12:49 a.m. Saturday, April 3rd, London, UK time. So this week, close a quarter. Currently at my grandparents' place. I'm gonna try and keep it quiet and quick. Um, but close a quarter ended okay. In line with what I forecasted, um, but not like didn't play out exactly how I forecasted. But the net of it all was basically what I forecasted. But ultimately, given the way I forecast, um, if we kind of hit what I forecasted, it's kind of a failure, right? As I want to do better than what I was forecasting. I forecast conservatively. So ultimately, okay, quarter, not the worst in the world, but nothing to celebrate, especially for me personally. Um, and honestly, the real kind of takeaway from this week, especially for me, is I'm fraying. Like the fray is how I'm feeling. So what I mean by that, basically, um, like this week was weird in the sense that there's a all these renewals kind of coming to a close, but it just wasn't a good week in terms of like execution on like a lot of things. So there's a lot left for me to do personally, and then there's some things that like others dropped the ball, so to speak. Um, like mistakes were made in a way. It was just one of those weeks. And I think it's just that all of us are trying to do too much. Myself and speak to like most of all, right? Um, and there's a solution in place, right? This T, this new hire, I should just start kind of transitioning as much to her as possible sooner than later. She's been now with us 30 days, and I know she's chomping at the bit to kind of take ownership of a lot of these accounts, and it's time to start handing over. Um, what I will say though is S this week did a great job in like in suggesting we start surveying our customers on like for feedback about us as CSMs, but also on the product, the pilot experience if they partook in a pilot, and what they would like to see maybe from the product, or even questions like how would you prefer for us to share action items, via email, via shared spreadsheet, via project management tool. That's just like one question of 16 or so. And also, rate your CSM sort of thing. And I thought she did a great job with that. Like she really stepped up and looks good. Looks great. And, we should certainly start sending those out. But in like thinking about it, the survey made me really reflect, right? Like how will my customers, even rate me personally, honestly? And I realized like if you zoom out, like I'm doing a good job given the job I'm doing. But if you zoom in for each individual customer, right? If they like one question is like rate your CSS proactivity, which is where we lack horribly, both her and I, and hopefully that'll change now with the new CSM and the increased bandwidth gives us opportunity to be more proactive. But like, and even when I introduced that one, I said, let's add proactivity as a thing, even though we're going to get raped on it, right? Let's add it. But, but I realized, I mean, that's really what a CSM is supposed to be, like proactive. It's part of the job description, basically. It's not to be like customer support reactive so much as proactive, strategic guide. But I was just thinking about like, sending these surveys out to my customers, and I damn well will, but it made me really realize that like I'm not going deep enough with my customers. And it's because I'm spread so thin. And I knew this, like, I knew this already, right? But it really kind of hit home this week, especially with like there's just so much left for me to do. Like this weekend, I'm here at my grandparents' place, and I really need to do work. And what I really need to do is actually not do work right now. Like I need to just take a break. There's so much work that needs to be done, and I'm just struggling. I'm struggling. I'm fraying. Finally come to a head, right? Where I'll like straight out say it. I feel it all the time, beginning of every week. But this is one of the first weeks where the week comes to a close and I still feel this way. Like partially part of that is it's like a short week, right? So we have Friday off, we have today off, we had today off, at least in the UK, right? Took the opportunity to take the train up here. Um, Still took a call with like a US customer, the one that wasn't like they didn't move or but yeah, for the most part they've been doing work today, and maybe that's why the week's closing, and I'm not feeling great about it because if it were a normal week, I think much of that I would have gotten done today. I can't even take a day off, when I'm supposed to have the day off. And it's not, right? It's part of being a VP, but it's not even like I'm doing VP related stuff. It's just I'm in the trenches, man. I need to get out of those trenches. Like on the train ride up, I was trying to like zoom out and think about things like pricing and structuring that for us, because we don't even have like a very good pricing model personally in my perspective. So far too arbitrary. It needs to be codified, it needs to be solidified. We don't go so far as put it on our website, but we need to have like it on hand just to make renewals easier and standardize kind of pricing across our customers and just streamline things. And when it comes to like negotiating, minimize the back and forth with procurement, for instance. Um, but yeah, there is a light at the end of the tunnel with the CSM, and really I just need to get on moving off these accounts and going deep with what I keep. But it's affecting me in like other ways as well. Like this week, I just feel like got away from me in a way. Things like it leads to me feeling overwhelmed by any other thing I've got to do outside of work, any other thing, even if it's like grocery shop. It just feels overwhelming to add to like my like list of things I've got to do. Even getting back to people, like people reach out and can end up becoming like another like item on my long ass task list. I gotta get back to that person, sort of thing. Um, like the landlord wanted to inspect my place this weekend, and I'm not even there for that. And just what I spent the whole morning doing, in a mad rush, was to like clean the place. Um, and it wasn't especially dirty, but like still I had to clean it and even do like minor things like change the clock so that it doesn't look like I'm a slob that doesn't even change his clock. But there's what really was the heavy lifting there was all these cigarettes that had just like accumulated on my patio because I smoked way too much, and it's not like I tossed them on the patio. I put them in the ashtray I have, but then they, I guess, blow out of the ashtray. I don't know. Somehow they just accumulate across all the edges of my patio, and I just have to clean all that up in the morning, and then pack, and then rush out. And I thought my train left at 12:30. If it left at 12:30, I would have missed it. Thankfully, it left at 12:35. I got there at 12:33. Um, I'm spent. Right, coming to the close of the quarter, I think it would probably ended better. And there weren't all these like issues that sprung up at the same time this week as well. Like maybe I'd be feeling like I would like to be feeling, but I'm definitely just not. And this whole like being consumed by work as well. And it's not going well, or I don't feel good about how it's going. It just kills the mojo. And if I just don't, if, even if I just don't have an off week, man, like let's allow me to have like an off week every once in a while, right? Not um, so much can go wrong, right? That's what's scary, man. Like if I feel like if I don't do well, like so much will fall apart, and that's concerning. Also, I can't, and I don't know that I had an off week, but I was definitely wasn't feeling the week. So you believe in like energy you have like attracts kind of outcome in a sense. Maybe maybe that's what happened there. I don't know, or maybe it was more accurate reflection of the situation around me. I don't know, but I don't know. And on top of that, like my good buddy, dude, he's like takes a picture, sends us a picture in the group chat of him in a hospital bed. My first reaction was like, this is like that Peter Griffin meme from Family Guy where he's like, oh look, hospital bed. Take my picture, get the likes. And that's not what he was doing. He wasn't posting to social media. He was giving it to the group chat to like let us know, you know. But my reaction, like personally, was so horrible. Not that, um, and it turns out he has renal failure, right? I had to even look up what that was. Not good, you know. He's still in the hospital. I'm so like insensitive. I really gotta. I just gotta take this this break because we have a break 4 day weekend here in the UK, which really probably won't be a 4 day weekend for me given what I really gotta do. In fact, I resent that it's like a 4 day weekend right now because I'd rather have a 4 day weekend when I didn't have so much to fucking do. So I could actually have a 4 day weekend break. I need a break. I really just need a refresh. Like this week I had no mojo, you know. I have no mojo right now, you know. I just want to, my grandparents wanted me here for Easter, and it just felt like that felt like a hassle too. But damn well have to be here. I mean, I promised them ages ago I'd be back for Easter. And really, what I'd rather be is at home. Have spent the day tying up the stuff that I should have been doing, that I would need to be doing. I just feel like torn in like so many directions, like between across my customers and then this on top of that, which is, oh, I got to go up and see my grandparents, and I just resent like I got to do anything outside of what I want to do, which is a good job. Anything that distracts from my job, all of a sudden I just become pissed about, aggravated by. And that's not okay. I got to focus on like what matters, man. Like my buddy's in the hospital right now, and I should be checking, talking to him. Um, I don't know, man. My head's a mess right now. I need a spring cleaning sort of thing. Maybe this Puerto weekend's a perfect time, and maybe the mood I'm in is good to kind of just introspect some and kind of rebuild, and then springboard back into like next week, next quarter, the rest of the year. Kills me that I work so hard, and then if I think about it, if I were to serve my customers, I think I'd get like decent like feedback, but not stellar, and that's purely because I spread myself so thin. They have no clue about that, right? Customers don't know that. They don't care. If you don't have bandwidth, like get bandwidth. There- No excuse. Now we have it, so no excuses going forward. But just feel like I work so hard, and it's like when things aren't work so hard, and things aren't working. It's like what? And maybe I'm being just a little bit dramatic. At the end of the day, they'll be okay. Um, and the quarter, revenue wise, turned out exactly as forecasted in terms of like net. Um, and I just gotta focus on me being okay. What does that even mean for me? That. Mm. This I'm just being this is being like a dramatic one. I'm gonna end it here. This is one, I guess, for insight into when I'm a mess, what I look like, sound like for the record. I guess it's good that I'm with my grandparents, which should be nourishing, nice, and like refreshing for me. But when I'm like distracted in my head, like it's not good either. Like I almost feel like I'm becoming like a hermit that like I can't be I can't even like be disrupted in the slightest, right? Like I need to work all 5 days. Otherwise, I'm not going to feel, otherwise, I'm going to end the week like this. Every other Friday, I come in feeling like accomplished and good. I just take one day off and all this. Maybe it's just unique to this week. There's a lot unique about this week, sure, but like, maybe more about perspective than anything. I just need to be like, fuck it. It doesn't matter that much. Don't take it so seriously. Why so serious? Just roll with it, man. Move on to the next one. And yeah, with that said, I'll leave it at that. Much love. Be happy. Do good. Love your mom.